thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.
The role of a woman in the society is to submit. Birth control are the pills of the devil. Education is so fundamental to the development of a people. Hang murderers. Simple as that. What am I voting for? Voting will change nothing.
Tout le monde haïtien, como yé. God save the Queen.
Wednesday, the 20th of September, 2017. Broadcasting live from ILTV Studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. Welcome to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. I'm a Justice of the Peace here within the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I'm also a member of the Catholic Christian community. Joining me in studio is Ross De Niro Thompson. Ross, welcome to Freedom March.
Mr. Monker, thank you so much for having me this afternoon. It's always a pleasure to be here on Freedom March.
Today, we will talk about Maria the Storm. Having been to the, where did it go? My better man. Where did it go?
It first made landfall on the island of Dominica in the Lesser Antilles.
And then after
this
that,
afternoon, it made landfall in Puerto Rico in the Eastern Caribbean.
And we are hearing that all of the lights on that island has been knocked out.
Yes, Irma has knocked out lights on the entire island, which is home to about 3.5 million people.
And is Maria on her way to the Bahamas?
Well, it's safe to say the Maria will not make a direct hit to the Bahamas, but our southern islands will feel a slight impact, such as winds, rains, and so forth.
Are you aware if the Free National Movement government is preparing to do another massive evacuation of our people who resides in the southern Bahamas?
Well, I'm not too sure, but as you may know, persons from Auckland are still here in the capital. Persons who they evacuated for the first time are still here in hurricane shelters.
Well, I thank you very much, Ross De Niro.
No problem, sir.
Ross De Niro is playing weatherman. Today, I am a bounty hunter. I'm playing bounty hunter because a judge of the Supreme Court has issued a warrant for the arrest of Christina Thompson, Chrissy Love. And so here on Freedom March, as one of Her Majesty's Justices of the Peace, I shall move to enforce that warrant of arrest. So it's a wonderful day in the Bahamas as we look at some of the serious criminal matters taking place here in the island. A graduate of St. Augustine College was murdered last night, according to unconfirmed reports reaching us here at Freedom March. Shanador Green, he's about 25 years old, born the 18th of June, 1992. He was murdered, and we are hearing while two of his female children were in the car. So the crisis continues. So these are some of the things on my mind, and I don't know what we're going to say. This killing took place outside of the Punch. I wonder what constituency the Punch falls in. Is it what?
That would be St. Barnabas.
Is it St. Barnabas?
That's St. Barnabas.
Seriously?
I think so.
It isn't Fort Charlotte.
I don't think it's Fort
And
Charlotte.
it isn't where Marvin Dames represents.
I don't think it's Mountain
I
Raya
don't
either.
know. But folks, listen. Oh, I don't know what to do. But stay with me.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
To Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV Studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker, and I am joined in studio by Rastanero Thompson, who today is playing the weatherman. Well, last night we had another murder here on the island of New Providence. This time, a 25-year-old Negro male, a former student of St. Augustine's College, Shenandoah Green. According to report, he was on Ajax Street, just outside the Punch, when gunmen, believed to be Negroes, opened fire on him, while it is reported that 2 of his female children were in the vehicles. And apparently there were multiple shootings, and today this former St. Augustine College student is dead. He lays in the city of New Providence on the cooling board. So some Negro reporters have been speculating that Mr. Green represents the 103rd Negro citizen to be murdered here in the Bahamas since the year began. So it's a sad story.
Very sad, Mr. Monker.
You knew him, Ras, because you went to St. Augustine.
Yeah, Mr. Green was my classmate,
Really?
Very sad, very sad.
Wow.
Yeah, he graduated 1 year after me. I graduated in 2009, he graduated in 2010, but, we were close in high school, and we shared the same birthday, so.
Really?
Every year, June 18th, we would have this celebration with everyone on the campus who celebrate their birthday on that day. And we shared the same birthday. We used to cut the cake together, all sorts of stuff.
Wow.
It's very sad, so my
How
condolences.
do you feel? You being a young man and you're living in a country where young people are being murdered, and it comes so close when you were able to say, we went to the same school, we sat in the same class, we share a common birthday. How do you feel?
Mr. Monker, it's very sad and very frightening at the same time, knowing that you don't know who could be next. We can all be targets of random acts of violence. So, it's very frightening. I think the fear of crime is very high in this country at the moment. So I hope that the FNM, really initiates their crime plan to bring the murder rate down.
This is powerful. So, folks, I'm not going to row over it. I'm just going to let you know that the murder continues. And if I have it right, he either was murdered, because these boundaries are so strange, he either was murdered in the constituency of Shenandoah Cartwright, that would be St. Barnabas, and or Fort Charlotte, that would be, what is the member of parliament name for Fort Charlotte?
That would be former COB lecturer, Mr. Mark Humes.
Or it could very well be in the constituency of Marvin Dames. But in any event, it is a constituency in which the Free National Movement holds the seat. So that is what is taking place there. And I'm going to not carry on about it, other than to say to you, my God, there goes another murder. And these Negroes who are in charge of the country, they know what they're doing. So let me move on. And then, of course, there's reports that the president of the hotel on Paradise Island, Atlanta's Dam, Howard Kawaran, they fire him. So I'll leave that alone. But the top news taking place in the country today is that the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram and the leader of Her Majesty's opposition, Philip Brave Davis, have both come out in support of Commissioner of Police Elliston Greenslade. If you saw the Tribune, if you saw the Nassau Guardian today, you will note that Mr. Ingram is starring in Candia's National Review, where Papa comes to the defense of Mr. Greenslade and is currently pointing out the wickedness of this F&M policy of abusing and mistreating a duly constitutional officer, the Commissioner of Police. And this story is now a signal to me for Mr. Ingram to just curse everybody out and carry on. So I thought I'll tell you about that for the time being. But let's go to the Supreme Court of the Bahamas. Today, Christina Marlene Thompson, better known as Chrissy Love, she failed to obey one of the biggest summons that can be issued by a judge of the Supreme Court. She didn't come to court, and so her ladyship, Senior Justice Cheryl Grant, was forced to issue a powerful warrant of arrest. And this warrant of arrest has been sent to every law enforcement officers on the borders of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And you know, our borders is 100,000 square miles. It is believed that Chrissy Love, who has dual citizenship, she happens to be a Bahamian American, so she has two citizenship. So she could come in the Bahamas and do things, and then she could run back to the United States. So that is what is taking place here. And I'm going to read you the day's report as written by my undercover reporter in the court. So, it goes like this. Christina Thompson, also known as Chrissy Love, failed to appear in the Supreme Court this morning. A warrant was issued for her arrest. The warrant was ordered to be sent to the Royal Bahamas Police Force and to the borders to secure the apprehension of Ms. Thompson and her detention by the Royal Bahamas Police Force to be brought to court. A constitutional motion filed by Ms. Thompson was adjourned and listed for hearing in November. The Negro male and F&M political prisoner Omar Archer was convicted of contempt of court. He was sentenced to 21 days at Her Majesty's prison. The sentences were suspended on the following conditions. 1. He donates $15,000 to the Cancer Society of the Bahamas. Peter Bettle and Redwin Grant, the late husband and father of Senior Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson, who was referred to in Archer's videos, died of cancer. He is to donate $6,000 to the Bahamas Red Cross Society. So, Omar Archer is ordered to pay a total of $21,000. He is also to report to the Crazy Hill I have to laugh, please forgive me, where he is to do, let me read it so I wouldn't get in trouble, he is to do 6 months of community services at the Eloise Penn Ward of the Sunderland's Rehabilitation Center. That's what we call the Crazy Hill. So he is to report to the Crazy Hill to do some work. Now, many of you might not be aware that I once was in the medical profession. I was employed at the Sunderland's Rehabilitation Center. First, I went there as a porter. Then, they promoted me. I became a store manager. Then I got another promotion. They sent me to the ward. So, I have lots of information on the Crazy Hill. So he is to do 6 months at Eloise Ward. That's the Crazy Hill. Okay? Now, if he is to wholly withdraw his remarks and apologize on Facebook Live and to have an apology printed on the front page of the Punch, the Tribune, and the Nassau Guardian. He has to provide proof to the Registrar of the Supreme Court by the 18th of October that he had complied with making the 2 donations and making and publishing the apology. This is so important that I must read this over so that my people, the Negro people, will have the facts correctly. Christina Thompson, also known as Chrissy Love, she disobeyed a subpoena to come to court. That is what she's done. So her ladyship, who had last week issued a warrant for her, but suspended it until today, subject to assurances and subject to the condition that Christina Thompson would come to court. But she didn't show up. Instead, this afternoon, somewhere in the United States, taking into consideration she has dual citizenship. So she went to the home of her birth. She born in America. There she streamed live as she continued to curse out the court using some of the most filthiest and nastiest words. So obviously, there is a battle taking place. Now we are compromised because Christina is an American and she's a Bahamian and she's over there, okay? But if she put foot within this 100,000 square miles of ocean, I call on every law enforcement officer to enforce the summons. It's so funny what is taking place. And to arrest her and bring her safely so that the court may proceed. Okay? So that's what is taking place. Secondly, the Negro F&M activists, whom the Prime Minister and his deputy has proclaimed to be a political prisoner. He was convicted of contempt of court. He was sentenced to 21 days at the prison. The sentence was suspended on the following conditions. 1. Omar is to find $15,000 and donate it to the Cancer Society of the Bahamas. Now you may have forgotten, Omar cursed out the late Peter Bettel, who is the husband of her ladyship. And he cursed out her daddy. Both of these great men died of cancer. Okay? I know Peter Bettel. I knew when he contracted cancer. And I know of the pain and suffering that he went through. So for the judge this would have brought back some serious memories. So Omar has been called upon to put $15,000. These are my words. I suspect it would be in honor and memory of the judge's husband and father. Archer has also, bear with me, Archer is also called upon to donate $6,000 to the Bahamas Red Cross Society. And he is to do 6 months of community service at Elise Penn ward of the Sandlands Rehabilitation Center. He is to wholly withdraw his remarks and apologize on Facebook Live, and to have an apology printed on the front page of the Punch, the Tribune, and the Nassau Guardian. And then he has to provide proof to the registrar of the Supreme Court by the 18th of October that he had complied with making the 2 donations and making and publishing the apology. He was represented by Save the Bay lawyer Fred Smith. For a second, I was talking with a Negro man after the court had fined Omar Archer, and he was concerned as to whether or not Omar Archer will be able to find $21,000 or spend 21 days. It's like $1,000 per day. But have no fear, for Omar Archer, payment will be found. If Fred Smith can save the Bay, certainly he can save Omar Archer. Take it from me, all Save the Bay got his money. Omar Archer ain't got nothing to worry about. He got a big juicy contract, so that's 1. And then 2, Save the Bay. Save the Bay. You know, save the title. You know, save the, what that other fish name? Or shark. Well, certainly they can save Omar Archer. They'll find the $21,000. When I come back, I'm going to refer to the law reports of 1936 so you can see what the white judge in London said in 1936 when a case came to the Privy Council from Trinidad and Tobago. And his lordship say it was important to convict the Negroes in the colony. I have the case, and I believe the judge, if she was following this case, she would be right to convict the Negroes. And it's powerful. I have to laugh. Please forgive me. It's fun. I'll be right back after the break.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker, and I am now joined in studio with my spiritual advisor, Bradley Roll. Bradley, welcome to Freedom March.
Thank you, Mr. Monker. How are you?
I'm fine.
All well?
Yes, indeed.
Absolutely.
By now, you should have heard, my spiritual advisor, that Chrissy Love has absconded from justice. She's fled the jurisdiction.
Okay.
She didn't come to court. But the Negro male, Omar Archer, was convicted. and he has been fined a total of $21,000.
Wow.
He's also required to do a 6-month community services at Eloise Penn Ward. That's on the Crazy Hills.
Silence.
Yes.
Is
all
there
right.
some subtle message
Well,
that is being sent?
no, the court wants him
Okay,
to
yeah.
purge his contempt.
Absolutely, absolutely.
In addition to that, he is to go on Facebook, withdraw those scurrilous and dirty attack on the judge,
yes.
and
yes.
to publish on the front page of the Nassau Guardian, the Tribune, and the Punch an apology. And
Okay.
by the 18th of October, he has to show proof to the registrar of the Supreme Court that he has complied with the
orders?
directives
Okay.
of the court. Failing to do so, he shall spend 21 days
In prison.
in prison.
Well, that's what the judge orders, so it is what it is.
Meanwhile,
Can't
Chrissy
fight it.
Love
You can't fight
on
that.
her Facebook page continued to curse out the judge
Wow.
and to use dirty and nasty words.
No repentance, eh?
And in addition to that, Miss Chrissy Love, you might not be aware, she has threatened to destroy her Bahamian passport as she has dual citizenship.
Okay.
I understand she was born in America.
Okay.
So she has fled the jurisdiction, and I accuse her of practicing what we call Moscowism. What is Moscowism? Moscow was a fugitive like Chrissy Love. The only difference was that Moscow was charged with murder. And what he did, as he fled the jurisdiction, he took out an action in the Supreme Court, whereby, should the court rule in his favor, he would be able to return. But if the court ruled against him, he was outside of the jurisdiction of the Bahamas, and therefore, he could not be arrested. So Chrissy has adopted that same strategy, where she has a constitutional motion in the Supreme Court, which is scheduled to come or to be heard in November of this year, but she has fled the jurisdiction.
Right.
So that is what is happening, and that is called Moscowism. But I have a judgment from the Privy Council.
Before you read that, though, let me ask a question. Her fleeing the jurisdiction, right?
Yes.
What protection does she have as long as she stay outside?
Well, I do not think that this case is an extraditable
Yeah, I was wondering
offense.
about that. Yeah, I was wondering
Right?
about that.
I don't think so.
So as long as she stay out of jurisdiction, she's...
And Papa and the Americans signed something called, I'm trying to think, Malat. I can't remember
Okay.
it, right? But I don't think this falls within the category.
So they can't send for her?
And she, as an American and a gender activist, all she has to do is to tell the white people them that her freedom of speech is being violated. And she's American. And you know what that means?
Oh, okay.
They'll do more covering up for her. You see?
Okay, okay.
But if she finds herself within the 100,000 square miles of ocean, or if she is found on Bimini, which is 50 miles off the coast of Florida, Chrissy Love is to be brought peacefully to Nassau. There, she is to appear before my lady ship.
Absolutely.
So that's what's going on.
Yeah.
I want to show Bahamians an interesting event. I told you about it a couple of days ago in anticipation of Chrissy's Love case. This is a law report, and it was published in 1936. This is a case that came from Trinidad and Tobago. All right? And a judge convicted a man who was, for a better word, a journalist. And he wrote something which the court determined was contemptuous. He complained how one person got a particular conviction and fine and sentence, and another fella perhaps with the same offense, was treated differently. And so the court concluded that he was guilty of contempt. But he appealed it to the Privy Council in London. Somebody by the name of Ambad, that's capital A-M-B-A-R-D. He was the appellant. He was the person who lodged the appeal. And so the court met and they came to a decision. And this is the one that I find interesting. All right? And for those of you who are computer savvy, if you wish to find the case, it is a case out of the House of Lords, the Judicial Committee of the Privy Council. And it is a matter in which the House of Lords reporters were W.H. Griffith, barrister at law, and the Privy Council was Charles Clayton. All right? It's 1936, published by the Council at its office, 30 Montacute Street, London. So y'all go look at it, those of y'all who are law students. But I shall give you my interpretation, being a learned layman. So I'm giving you my interpretation, okay? And so we will look at what one of the judges had to say. He says, judges and courts are alike open to criticism. And if reasonable argument or expostulation is offered against any judicial act as contrary to law or the public good, no court could or would treat that as contempt of court. And that in applying the law, the board, meaning the Privy Council, will not lose sight of local conditions. Is made clear in the judgment in MacLeod versus St. Aubin. 2, where Lord Morris, after saying that committals for contempt of court by scandalizing the court itself had become obsolete in this country. So in London, in England, it was obsolete because the white man, the Englishman, his level of education and socialization and training was such that he would not do what Omar Archer and the Negro lady, Christina Thompson, has done. So it's obsolete in 1936, we are talking about, in London, in England. All right? So he continues to show that it's obsolete in this country, meaning England. And then he goes on to say, an observation sadly disproved the next year in the case last cited. Process 3. Courts are satisfied to leave to public opinion attacks or comments derogatory or scandalous to them. But it must be considered that in small colonies consisting principally of colored populations, that means Negro population. So colored is the word he used in 1936, but I shall substitute colored for Negro. That is what he meant. All right? And he goes on to say, the enforcement in proper cases of committal for contempt of court for attacks on the court may be absolutely necessary to preserve in such a community the dignity of and respect for the court. So, the judges concluded that in the colonies, where the Negro populations are not as sophisticated and educated, it becomes necessary to convict Christina Thompson and Omar Archer. So, that that population will hold respect for the court. So that is what is happening here. But in London, it is obsolete. Now, in more recent time, the British has, by statute, established a contempt of court law by statute. All right? To deal with the fact that perhaps certain English citizens are not as sophisticated as they were in 1936. So this is an interesting case which supports Her Ladyship convicting these two Negroes, well, in fact, one Negro, Omar Archer. And so the question is, what Fred Smith can do? I have no fear for Omar Archer because I am satisfied that Save the Bay will find the $21,000 and pay it for Omar. I have no fear of that, okay? They've saved the bay, they saved the title, they saved the shark. Certainly, they are willing to save this Negro man. I can know now, if Fred Smith loved the shark, the title, and the lizard more than the Negro male Omar Archer. So I leave that alone. My spiritual advisor, it's a wonderful day in the country. Omar has been convicted.
Why are you gloating on that, though?
I'm not gloating. I'm merely reporting. It's a very
just
important
reporting.
story.
Yeah.
Right?
Be careful now, because, you know.
It's jokey. I find the whole thing humorous. It's a serious matter.
Yeah, it is a serious
but
matter.
It's humorous.
You know, they flew in the judge's face, and
yeah, okay.
you know, then you have to suffer the consequences.
Yeah.
You know,
and meanwhile,
obey the law.
I call on the Anglican Church to speak with Christina, and I call on the Anglican Church to make sure she's not hiding in St. Agnes. Okay? I just want you all to know, because today I'm playing what the Americans call it when you go looking for prisoners.
You're
What do
looking
they
for
call
a
it?
fugitive. What do they call it?
Yeah, the American word. You don't know it, my spiritual advisor?
No. She would be a fugitive, would she?
She's a super fugitive.
Right.
She's an international
And
fugitive.
so the person who hunts her
Who
would be
hunts
called
them.
what?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. But who knows? Ezekiel. What does the American call a citizen?
Is it a bounty hunter?
A bounty hunter. I'm going to give out a reward today. $250
you won't You won't go get her?
to every Negro. Not to every Negro. Let me get it right. $250 to any Negro citizen who can lead us to the arrest of Chrissy Love.
So she's on the run officially.
She's on the run.
Okay.
And face it, she's a smart woman. She went home to where she was born.
Yeah, so she's born in America.
She was born in America.
Which would entitle her to automatic citizenship.
And
right?
by virtue of having been born in holy wedlock to a Bahamian man,
I was wondering about that.
she
Okay.
took on Bahamian citizenship.
So both her parents are not
Both of her parents are
Bahamian?
Bahamians.
Oh.
But the
Okay.
citizenship
Okay.
would have come about as a result of the married man.
Okay.
Had she been a bastard,
Father's Bahamian.
had she been a bastard, right,
Then she take the mother
she would have taken the mother
nationality.
subject to the mother being a single woman.
Okay.
You follow?
All right.
So $250 helped me find Chrissy Love.
So you can have dual citizenship. You don't have to renounce one, no?
Well, if Chrissy was running for the Honorable House of Assembly, she would have been required to renounce
Okay.
American citizenship.
Okay.
The FNM run a Conky Joe man and has produced no evidence that he has renounced his citizenship.
But wasn't that the same story with Ryan Pinder?
That was the same story, but two wrongs
Don't make it right.
don't make her right. Okay?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Don't ever
Don't
forget
mention
it.
one and don't mention the other.
Yeah. But we're
Okay.
talking about current
Absolutely.
situation.
You're
How to
something
sound
else.
my spiritual
You're
advisor.
something else.
Well, BPL has been fired. You remember? I told y'all last night how I yearned for the day when we would take BPL just over the bar. For those of you who do not know what the bar is, go to Arawak Key and look north, you can see a bunch of long black thing in the water, which is used as storm and sea breaker. That's the bar. And I'm being told that they will be put over the bar by the 31st of December. I think it's a mistake. If we are firing them, we should make sure first thing tomorrow they can't enter BEC. All right? I told y'all that they need to go. All right? And it was a terrible mistake that the PLP made when they listened to the Vice President of the United States of America, who recommended this company. Okay? And we now see what skullduggery was taking place. The former Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram, if you saw the Nassau Guardian, his favorite journalist, Candia Dame, revealed an interesting story. And in addition to that, today, the leader of the opposition, Philip Brave Davis, also issued a statement. And it would appear that Mr. Ingram and Mr. Davis agree on a fundamental principle, which is that the current Commissioner of Police is being abused. And Menace is making a mistake. You would recall that last year, while I was on the radio station, I was speaking to Greenslade when the Negro woman who was a former police was arrested. And I had gone to see Mr. Ingram over it. And Mr. Ingram gave me a coded message, which I give on the radio. And as a result of that, certain things happened. Papa didn't tell it to me, but I'm aware of what has happened. Now, let us watch the history of Greenslade. It was Hubert Alexander Ingram faced with the choice of choosing between Marvin Dames and Ellison Monker Greenslade. Papa always loved the Monkers family. And he chose Greenslade. Greenslade is one of Papa's men. I know. And Papa loves Greenslade very much. How do I know? It was based on a conversation which me and Mr. Ingram had. Now, for many of you, you might think that I'm just using Mr. Ingram's name. That is not true. That is not true. If you were to examine the tapes at the radio station that I came from, you would hear me saying, and Greenslade and Papa met. Papa ain't tell me. Papa ain't tell me. But I knew that Greenslade and Papa met. Many of them don't like Greenslade, and I'll tell you why. I even ain't sure I should tell you why. But they don't like him. You see, in the F&M, there are many politicians who continue to sin. And sometimes, when you are carrying out the law, they are upset, right? It's like when the F&M used to sweetheart this woman. Do you know they let her son out? They opened up the prison, and a whole prisoner walked out, and everybody covered that up. You hear me? And the police spokesman was Bishop Josie. And when my people at the prison informed me of what happened, I went to see Josie. You know Arnold Josie, the bishop in Commonwealth Baptist Church? I went to see him. I said, listen, what this is, the F&M let go a whole prisoner. He said, hey, no, nothing about that. I said, well, I need you to investigate it. I said, now this is what the overseer tell me. They told me, and this is a true story, ask Bishop Arnold Josie. He's a saved man. This couple years ago. couple of good years. I said, listen, apparently this young man was being, his mother, God forgive me for saying it, was being sweetheart by the F&M. And they got words to just let him go out. And he was shocked. As he was walking out of the prison, he kept looking back. And when he realized that they were serious, he break off run and head to the southern part of the Bahamas. All right? Now, Greenslade has been carrying out the law. A bunch of F&Ms who was on the bridge, right? Greenslade had to lock them up. What the heck they want him to do? All right? And Greenslade, as it relates to the politician, has been very fair and objective. You would recall, when Mrs. Glenys Hannah Martin was in opposition and the speaker moved to have her removed from the house and she resisted, well, Greenslade mobilized the police, and guess what he did? On the instruction of an F&M speaker, they dejected Glenys Hannah Martin. He did his job. And then when the PLP came to power and Minnis was ordered out of the House of Assembly, what did Greenslade do? Well, if you move Glenys Hannah out of the House on the instruction of the Speaker, certainly the same powers that was in that F&M Speaker is now reserved in the PLP Speaker. And Minnis and Greenslade organized the police. Now, from my observation, he didn't show up in the case of the ejection of Minnis. But when they were ejecting Glenys Hannah, he showed up. And the PLP never hold that against him. So it's a bunch of hateful people in the F&M, right? Greenslade them, lock up one of their sweetheart. God forgive me for being so crude and saying it. See, I know things. Because when they think I am not meeting and talking, I'm meeting and talking. So this is spite and revenge. But Papa is demanding that Greenslade gets all of the benefit that the F&M agrees to give him before he demits office. And Papa has sent Greenslade a code. He said Greenslade would be a fool to step down without the F&M passing the necessary legislation to ensure that he gets all of his pension and economic benefits. Greenslade, by that, you must peacefully resist the F&M unless they comply with all of the benefits that you are entitled to. And in this case, Mr. Ingram has pointed out that in order for Greenslade to receive those benefits, there must be an amendment to the law. Come on, Minister, what happened to y'all? Y'all so mean, y'all so spiteful, and you have to understand the principle. When you are powerful, be merciful. When you are powerful, be merciful. And as Mr. Ingram has pointed out, I don't know if I showed it to y'all yet, but as Mr. Ingram has pointed out, here in Candia article, Greenslade has been an officer who's done nothing wrong. All of this is spite, but I want the F&M to know, Greenslade suck a monka's breast. And y'all don't know me. You hear me? Greenslade, I sure Greenslade is a monka. He suck a monka's breast. And I'm offended. And Papa, I shall continue to fire skirts because Papa is displeased. Papa is displeased. Man, Minister Main, Marvin, this is no way to treat Greenslade. Come on. If you want the man to go, he's willing to go. Make sure he gets all the benefit that he's entitled to. Please don't be jealous of the man. If a man works, he must be paid. If a man is entitled to his pension and gratuity and other benefits, he must be given it. Other than that, Greenslade must follow what Papa say. Resist them. This is Freedom March. When I return, I'll look at what Philip Ray Davis said in his recently issued statement today. We'll be right back.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker. I'm joined in studio by my spiritual advisor, Bradley Roll. Bradley, welcome once
Thank
again.
you. Thank you, Mr. Monka.
When we took the adjournment, because I got a coded message. Papa, is it you who authorized the message I just got? Well, I'm going to assume it is Papa. So the message I received is, I didn't turn Candia page over so that we can see Papa picture. Hurry up, put this camera on this thing before Papa them become upset. Goodness of mercy. Mr. Producer,
Yeah, he
show
got
me.
He got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's hold it for a little while. Papa, see? Yeah. Show it, Papa. This is Papa, right there. Okay? And so I want y'all to see it. Okay? It's from Papa. If Candia say Papa said, you can accept that. Now, before I go into Philip Brave Davis, let me quickly read a little something from what Papa had to say. And minister better be careful, because Papa is getting tired of the slackness in the F&M. You see, Papa is chief of the village. That's what's going on. The F&M is like a village, and Papa is the chief. Every candidate in the party who complained over what Minister was doing leading up to the election, they went to see Hubert Alexander Ingram, and Papa straightened everything out. All of them. And they all got nomination. And any of them challenged me, I'll call the name. So let me see what Papa say. Limbo, Ingram calls for certainty on Commissioner of Police. Former Prime Minister Hubert Ingram says he does not like the way the Minister administration is treating Commissioner of Police Ellison Greenslade, noting that the uncertainty over the position and fate of the police chief is negatively impacting the morale on the force. You hear what Papa say? And all the commissioners in more recent times, starting from B.K. Bonnaby, it was Papa who appointed them. Spiritual advisor, read me that other thing right there, what Papa say, because it's important.
He says, I think that they need to bring it to a head. If the commissioner,
Hold the phone caller for a second.
Yeah.
Unless that's Papa, tell him hold on.
if the commissioner is going to retire, then do what
Put
is
the mic close to your mouth.
yeah. If the commissioner is going to retire, then do what is necessary for him to be accommodated and a new commissioner appointed. There should be a proper handover ceremony so that all and sundry would know who the commissioner is. The force is a disciplined force.
Right.
That's interesting.
Well, Papa recognized that this group of F&Ms, they're not well educated in our system of government. They think that the Commissioner of Police could remain silent in the midst of mounting criminal activity, and the country would not be concerned and ask questions. So Greenslade is being mistreated, and that is not good for morale. And Anthony Thompson, the acting Commissioner of Police, must ask himself quietly, if they're doing Greenslade like this, heaven helps me, what will they do when they think it's time for him to go. I just thought I'll let you know. Give me this caller. Hello, caller. Welcome to Freedom March. Hello, caller. Then I'll read Philip Brave Davis' statement. Mr. Philip Brave Davis, as I told you, it appears that him and Papa agrees. And so I'm going to read his statement. The Free National Movement, during the general election, this is Philip Brave Davis, identify reducing criminal violence as a critical priority for their administration. The government crime strategy remains non-strategic and unprioritized, independently from the human tragedies, leaving a trail of violence across the corridor of our country. Violent crimes remain an impediment to our economic development. So Philip Brave Davis, he's now showing that what the F&M preach, they're not practicing. They ain't got no strategy. Last night, whole young man, good student from St. Augustine College, gunned down with his 2 children. All right? Who's on the phone? Welcome to Freedom March.
Good afternoon to you, Mr. Monica and Mr. Roll. How are you doing today?
We're doing great. How you doing?
That's good. Mr. Monica, what the former Prime Minister has said today is what I, along with so many other Bahamians, have been saying for quite some time.
Yes.
You know, on spiritual advice, I know sometimes you tend to, want to be a little wishy-washy and you're siding with the government. But, you know, it's 132 days that they've been in office, and there's not one single program or policy they've brought forth to the Bahamian people. All of this little nitpicking here and there with these other things, we have a serious problem in this country with crime. We're not addressing the crime
That is
situation.
true.
I don't know what has to happen for us to realize that we need to do something, to come together collectively as Bahamians, not PLPs or FNMs, but together as Bahamians.
Yes.
And until this situation with the Commissioner of Police is resolved, we're not going anywhere because people on the outside are saying, Mr. Monica, and I hear it from people every day, we don't even know what's going on with our commissioner. How can we really think that this government is serious? And in particular, Marvin Dames. We really need to get together on this man. As Bahamians, deal with this matter.
Well, you are so right, my sister. It appears that what the F&M is doing is hiding their crime-fighting strategy until after the commissioner leaves. But I know those Negroes.
It's sad, but like you
They ain't
said,
got none.
if Mr. Ferguson should stop and wonder if they do it to Greenslade, who's an exemplary commissioner,
yes,
a son of Cat Island soil,
oh, praise
a
the Lord.
proud Monca,
Yes.
and you can do it to him, what you think we'll do it to him?
Yeah.
But I'll talk with you all tomorrow on another matter because I had some concerns concerning these hurricane preparedness and the government's policy on customs duties and all that sort of thing, but I'll leave that for another day.
But before you leave,
yes, sir.
Do you have pen and paper nearby?
Yes, sir.
Take my cell number, which is 434-5760. I'd like to meet with you.
Okay, sir.
And I would, because I'm trying to organize and bring the woman them together in a conference.
Yes.
I've spoken to a Negro lady today, and I would like to tie you and her together as we prepare once again.
Okay.
To step on this rocky road. You have my cell number?
Yes, 434-5760.
God save the Queen.
God save the Queen. God bless you both.
Absolutely, you too.
Doreen.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Before I take more calls, let's see how we can crack this goodness of my sea. Help me, my spiritual advisor. How are we going to crack this safe?
Code.
Every time I talk about cracking the code, it feels like I'm doing something wrong. I hope we have the lawful authority to crack this code. $250,000. Well, folks, if Minas is paid $234,000, you might as well try and crack this code and see if you all could win $250,000. Remember, Minas spent $2,800,000. But here, all you need to do is use a common sense approach and crack the code. $250,000. Now, I don't know what the code is, okay? So, can you crack it? win up to $250,000, earn 25 reward points, or take your chance at cracking our secret code. Play now at All Island Luck and at Ultra Games locations, as well as on our websites, mobile platforms, and kiosks. If you crack the code at level 1 with 6 digits, you can win $250,000. You have 3 days to crack level 1. After 3 days, if nobody cracks the 6-digit codes, we'll give you a clue. We'll reveal one of the numbers and move to level 2. Then, for the next 3 days, you can attempt to crack the 5-digit code and win $50,000. So, if no one cracks level 2 within 3 days, you get another clue, but it will cost you. At level 3, crack the 4-digit code for $5,000. But if you can't get the code, you'll get another clue and move to level 4, where you can win $500 by cracking the 3-digit code. We'll stay at level 4 until somebody cracks it. When that happens, we'll start all over again at level 1. And you'll have the chance to win $250,000 all over again. And for the first time ever, account and over-the-counter players can play via the in-store kiosk on the web or on your mobile. For web mobile players, you simply visit either islandluck.com or ultragames.com and log into your account and select the crack the code link. For over-the-counter players, just select the crack the code link and enter the voucher code at the bottom of your ticket. On behalf of Island Luck and Ultra Games, good luck and happy cracking. Visit islandluck.com or ultragames.com for more information. Tout le monde haïtien, si vous jouez pour craquer là, ma basement nous, pour jouer number 8. You think c'est pas slow Haitian Creole?
Happy cracking.
Happy crappy. Happy what?
Cracking.
Say that to me in Creole. Cracking, content.
Yeah.
Okay.
Content is happy, yeah.
Yeah, content? Merci beaucoup, mes amis. So, we now know that 2 great warriors, Philip Brave Davis and Dr. Hubert Alexander Ingram. Ha! I bet you all forgot that Dr. Ingram, he's been given an honorary doctor degree. So, Haiti Stoneman, bienvenue Haiti, Saka fait. Ah bon, tout le monde haïtien. Listen, Haiti has turned in.
Tuned in?
Yeah.
Okay.
How is the storm preparation taking place in Haiti? Just let me know, okay? So, Papa is displeased with how Menace is treating the commissioner of police. Communist, Great State was only doing his job. If F&Ms don't want to be arrested, then get permission. But if you are playing politics, the police have to play law and order. All right? And there were such wonderful photographs. F&M struggling, and the police peacefully arresting them. Now you can spite? And then, for those of y'all who have these disobedient women, what you want the police to do? What you want the police to do? Stop being spiteful. Let's see what Brave Davis continued to say. The reality, Philip Brave Davis says, of the country crime circumstance implores the Progressive Liberal Party to agitate bipartisan approach beyond just scrutinizing government policy. The PLP will not stand idly nor silent as teenagers are slaughtered on our street by gun violence. The lackadaisical response to the community of Fox Hill has resulted in a second teenager being killed. We remain gravely concerned about the apparent meddling by the government in the senior leadership of the Royal Bahamas Police Force that has resulted in the perception of a leaderless organization. Our country must draw a line to protect the individual who serve our country with a sense of duty, honesty, integrity, and courage. The command of the Royal Bahamas Police Force should not be subjected to an unexplained and improper political interference. The government should not set the precedent of subverting the Constitution that protects and empowers the Commissioner of Police to carry out his or her duties effectively. The Progressive Liberal Party strongly condemns any effort of political pressure to force any senior official to abdicate their responsibilities for a political reward over the interests of the Bahamian people. If the opposition confirms that there was an attempt to circumvent the tenure of the Commissioner of Police by an overreaching politician with blatant disregard for the Constitution, it will be strongly condemned. Our country continues to be embroiled in a vexing crime problem. The alarming spikes in armed robberies and murder necessitate us abandoning partisan mentality and collectivity, holding hands to protect our neighborhoods from being safe havens for criminals. There has been a systemic failure, and the system must respond with policies and initiatives to prevent and not just respond. During the Christie administration, we strengthened the urban renewal program to readdress our country's development challenges among young people. The government must place a sustained effort on socio-economic policies designed at addressing the causes of crime and strengthen the relationship between the police and the communities to improve intelligence gathering. Our communities, our citizens, our schools, our children, and particularly our young men cannot wait for a partisan debate over crime to end. They deserve their policy makers to act now to protect their interests and rights to a peaceful and a safe environment. As a society, we cannot become numb to the images of mothers and families being torn apart by a culture of violence that needs to be reversed. That's Philip Brave Davis. Him and Papa is on the same track. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello. Hello. So, my spiritual advisor, read something else that Papa say, because ministers them got hard head. They don't want to listen to what Papa say. You got to listen to Papa. Papa is a nation builder. Papa was trained Papa's a nation builder. Why you want to treat Green State like this? Huh?
I'm actually surprised that the former Prime Minister has come out
Put the
public.
mic close to your mouth, my
Yeah.
spiritual advisor.
I'm surprised that he has actually come out public on this issue.
What you mean?
And apparently he seems to be cutting it straight.
Papa always cut things straight.
Yeah, he seemed to be cutting it
You
straight.
were with me at the radio station when I reported what Papa say. Papa gave me a coded message. Papa let me know that he loves Grain Slade and he holds Grain Slade in high esteem. And Papa does not want the people who he regarded as making major contribution to nation building to be victimized. This is victimization. And minister, you better stop it, because you hear what the PLP say? They say they ain't gonna stand by. And I, as one FNM, I believe in marching. All right? Just march. Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Hello.
Yes.
May I speak to your spiritual advisor, please?
My spiritual advisor, there's a Negro man.
Hi, good
who'd like to
afternoon.
speak
How
to
you doing?
I'm fine, and yourself?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. How about you?
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
What was the fight Bombsey, what Bombsey burned down? What was the price of that?
I don't have.
What is this question?
What was the price of Bombsey when it first went down? I don't have
What
that
was the
information.
price of Bombsey?
Yeah.
Bombsey cost a couple of $1 million.
Was it 8?
What it is to build now?
I'm not sure, because my party stopped revealing this information to me.
Was it 8 million?
Well, and was Brave Davis in charge at that time?
Philip Brave Davis was the minister, yeah.
Okay, so how come you're asking the minister to ask Brave Davis about insurance?
You don't understand why?
No, I don't understand why.
I want you to listen carefully. The PLP took a decision not to renew an insurance for the Bahamas, which would have cost $900,000, because the exploits pointed out to the PLP that one of the worst provision of that contract is that the hurricane had to strike Nassau
Most densely populated
in
island.
order for us to be paid. And since there are many saved people living on this island and praying and fasting, I don't believe that the hurricane would hit us. I just don't believe it. Now, the Prime Minister didn't listen to the exploits. He didn't talk with Philip Brave Davis, since Christie was no longer the parliamentarian, and the Prime Minister and the leader of the opposition, which is Philip Brave Davis, are to consult. So, Minis took a gamble to crack the secret code of the insurance by paying $2,800,000, but he did not read the contract. All right? Because had he read the contract, he would have known that he was being ripped off. And his fundamental problem was that the insurance company wrote him a letter critical of the PLP for not paying the $900,000. And Menace thought he could score a point and make a hustle. But by grab, they misled him. Now we lost $2,800,000, and the people pay us $234,000, and now promise, after they watched Freedom March and heard me cussing them out, that they can add a little extra. But we still lost. All right? I thank you for calling. Oh boy, it's amazing, eh? I gotta work so hard.
Is he still there?
Listen, to all the women them, I need you all to call Sir Franklin Wilson. I met with him a couple of weeks ago, and I told him I wanted to rent the building on Market Street. I want to set up woman them house where we could meet and do things. He said to me that he would rent it to me at a reasonable point. I want every PLP who knows him to call him and ask him, when is he going to give me this building, so I could get the women them together to raise the fund. I need an office, big office, so we could organize all the women them, all the man them, all the people them, and then we could march. All right? So, do you know Sir Franklin Wilson? Do you know Sir Franklin Wilson? I need a big headquarters where I can call the people together and we can raise funds because I have lots of work. Got all kind of problems. All kind of work I got. All kind of issues that need to be dealt with. All kind of marching that is needed. Because what time is it?
It's the people's time.
What time is it?
It's the people's time.
And it's people, time. I'll be right back after the break.
Do you have something to say to the senator? Call Freedom March at 323-7775. Toll free from anywhere in the Bahamas at 242-300-0045. Freedom March with Rodney Monker, only on ILTV. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
March, broadcasting live on ILTV here in Nassau, Bahamas. My spiritual advisor, Bradley Roll, is here with me, and my name is Rodney Monker. We started our show by giving you breaking news that the light-skinned Negro woman, Christina Thompson, is now a fugitive from justice. And the F&M political freedom fighter, Omar Archer, has been convicted and he has been fined $21,000, $15,000 for the cancer, $15,000 for who, my spiritual advisor? I've forgotten. I think it's $15,000 for the Cancer Society,
That's right, yeah.
$6,000 for the Red Cross, and he must go up on the crazy hill to do some community services at the Elise Penn ward. And I want to just let him know that when I used to work on that ward, we had a couple of guys who used to play German. And for me, I didn't know that used to happen. And one day, as I walk on the ward, dressed right up, the fellow grabbed the broom. And he said the German was attacking us, and he began to shoot. Right? And it sounded like a real shot. So I dodged. Sister almost put me in, Anyway. Oh, let's have the callers, and then spiritual advisor, would you please read the text?
I tell you.
Yeah. Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Yeah, good day, Mr. Monka. How are you doing?
Listen, I am so saddened. Omar has been convicted, and Chrissy Love is a fugitive. Yeah.
Well, Chrissy Love isn't coming back. She's deciding to burn up her passport.
Really?
Do you agree with her? Do you think she should burn up her passport?
Listen, whatever Chrissy want to do, I'm not going to get in it because Chrissy's crazy out, And listen, she is cursed dirty word. I only know one woman who's cursed like Chrissy, but I don't want to call her name because her children might get mad, okay?
Yeah, one question, Mr. Monka. What do you think is going on? After the Mexico earthquake, it's been like 3 other earthquakes. One off the coast of New Zealand, and then the next one in Japan, and then another one just happened like 15 minutes ago near Australia.
Goodness of mercy. Well, don't forget what the Bible say for those of us who believe in Bible, my spiritual advisor. What did the Bible say?
You're talking about Matthew chapter 24? We're talking about earthquake.
Well, I don't really want to hear about the spiritual advisor right now because he got that vault right on his side. He ready to go inside that vault.
Wow. Listen, let's pray, all right? Because I want you to know that Inagua also sits on that thing that Haiti sits on. And when Haiti had its earthquake, Inagua felt it. But I got to let you go because I got another Negro citizen on the line. You take good care and pray. All right? Hello. Welcome to Freedom March.
Hello, Mr. Monka.
Yes, would the producer cut off your phone so I could hear this man? Sir?
Good evening. How you doing?
I am fine. How are you?
Great. Mr. Monka, I want you to understand and realize the majority of the citizenry,
Yes.
the majority of the Bahamian people,
Yes.
voted for the FNM.
That is true.
We didn't vote for Hubert Alexander Ingram, your God.
Now you stop that.
Hubert
Hold on a
Ingram
second.
is
Hold
your
on.
God.
Put this Negro man on hold. I want you to have respect. There is only one God that I serve. It is Jehovah, the God of the holy people of Israel. Hubert Ingram is my political ally. All right? Now you be respectful and make your point. Go ahead. Bring the Negro man back. Bring the Negro man back. Go ahead. Come on, I'm listening to you.
Now, Mr. Malka.
Yes?
As I was saying, sir.
Okay. Come on, stop laughing.
I was saying to you, sir, with all due respect,
Yeah.
I don't mean that kind of God.
No,
okay.
There shall be no other God other than Jehovah. And Jehovah is a jealous God. He's just like me. All right? Now, make your point, because I
Yes,
got
sir.
one child on the phone.
Okay. So what I'm saying to you, right?
Right.
It's you watch and listen to everything Hubert Alexander Ingram says. You respect everything he says, but we didn't vote for him. We voted for the Prime Minister. We voted for the FNM.
Imagine.
Wait. We voted for the FNM and the leader of the party, who is Dr. Hubert Minnis.
Okay.
Okay, so you could
you're not
spread whatever propaganda, whatever you want to say.
You didn't see the
We
paper?
voted for the FNM. Sir.
Did you see the
FNM.
Nassau Guardian?
The
It
National
doesn't
Review.
matter what the Nassau Guardian
My
says to me, you know.
God.
It don't matter. It doesn't matter to me what the
Let me
Nassau
test
Guardian
you.
says.
Let me see how much man you is.
What
What's your
matters to
name?
me?
That Papa hear your name. If you's man, and if Hubert Minnis is your leader, call your name so Papa will hear it. Anyway, you take good care. You don't like Papa. Let me listen to the children them. Hello,
If you'd like to
welcome.
make a call, please hang up.
Where the children them? Hello, welcome to Freedom. All the children? All the children? Well, hang up the phone. Let the spiritual advisor read some text.
Okay, here we go. Mr. Moncur, please answer your private number.
Okay.
This is your mango friend from church. What's this?
Okay. I know who that is.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Let's see. A development is being proposed by Phoenix Market, which operates a food store in the Coral Harbor Shopping Center. Phoenix wants to operate a food store on the main Coral Harbor Road next to electrical store. Mr. Moncur, have you noticed that?
No, I have
Text.
not noticed it.
Some text is
Go ahead.
send you.
The government firepower secure by grab. It's the people's time. Go ahead, my spiritual advisor.
It is reported that the highest paid Bahamian at BPL only makes $10,000 a month, while Pamela Hill was making $25,000 with living accommodation, $6,000, so on and so forth. Word on the street is that the general manager at Atlantis was fired. Is that true, Mr. Moncur?
Yes, we see that in the Nassau
What's
Guardian.
the reasoning, Mr. Moncur?
I
you
don't
think,
know why they
behind that?
fire that white man. Rodney, you knew these PLP was not paying their light bill, and you stood and said nothing. Now all the PLP dirt coming out. So one guy with bullets get fined $15,000, and one guy with words fined $21,000. Okay, let's take this call. Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Yes, sir. Mr. McCarr.
Sir,
How you doing today, man?
listen, I'm angry.
Oh, man. I watch you on the Spiritual Advice every day, man. You're all doing a good job, man.
Well, let me thank you for your kind words.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
man. I like to watch your show. Mr. McCarr, what I call you about now is Cable Bahamas, man.
What happened?
Every month you guys pay them sometime $80, $90 to $100 a month. And I, as a man, I like to watch wrestling Monday night.
No
and
wrestling
Tuesday
on
night.
Monday?
Oh, man, every time it comes to wrestling, Mr. McCarr, they freeze the channel.
Really?
And after They done freeze the channel after they know wrestling is over. Then they bring the channel back on. That ain't right, Mr. Montgomery.
And did you pay for that
Programming.
channel?
Yes, I paid for this. Everybody, you got about 50% of Bahamians like to watch wrestling. They pay for this.
I'm going to talk to Wayne Monroe
Yes,
to
sir.
find out if I could get him to sue on your behalf.
Yes, sir.
And I'll talk to him because I've been getting him to do pro bono work. I'm running into a bunch of poor Negroes who are being oppressed. And I've said to him, listen, you got to do a little something for them. I'm going to talk about your situation.
Yeah, man.
And
you guys do
depending
better,
on
man.
what he says, I may say to you and other consumers, let us organize a march and demonstration
I ready.
outside Cable Bahamas. All right?
I'm ready.
You take good care and
sir.
listen for
Thank you very
tomorrow.
much, sir. Okay,
you take
sir.
good care. Cable Bahamas,
Yes.
why are you treating my
Certain
people like this?
programs are
Do I have
blocked out.
anybody on the call? Uh-huh. Cuba, Buenos Dias. Cuba is watching.
Buenos
and then
dias.
I got a call. Do me a favor, put the camera on the spiritual advisor. Abaco is calling me.
You may read some text, right?
Yes, read text.
My senator, did you know that social services is about to cut the RISE program that really helps the poor people? Why does the Christian minister treating poor people so bad? They don't like black people. It means, Mr. Monica, that the $84 a month program for food will be stopped.
Thank you.
Mr. Monica, do you know that Save the Bays, Fred Smith, just purchased a jet? All Save the Bays has is money, Mr. Monica.
I know. That's why I answer your phone.
Okay.
Okay, I can get back to you.
All right.
Spiritual advisor, please forgive me. I just got a call from Green Turtle Key, where a citizen there is confirming that they are having the same problem every Monday and Tuesday. Cable Bahamas leads them into believing that wrestling will be shown, and then afterward, it is also frozen. Cable Bahamas, I want y'all to stop it. All right? It is not fair. Stop it before I recommend to this TV place here that we start showing dashing and wrestling.
So it means that at certain programs that
Yeah.
Kill Bahamas buy, apparently
The
they,
safe is moving?
they can't show. Every time you bomb, I guess it
Oh,
does.
lock the safe because that ain't supposed to open.
Listen, I'm not touching that. I don't want my fingerprint on that.
Okay. But I ain't blaming you because, you know,
I'm not
they
touching
might,
that.
They might teeth it. Read some text, my spiritual advisor.
$250,000 go missing. My fingerprint ain't gonna be on
Yeah.
it. Mrs. Monica,
Yes.
are you aware that Save the Bays lawyer bought a jet?
Save the Bay got a jet?
Mm-hmm.
What are they trying to do? Save the flying birds?
Yeah, they purchased, Fred
Goodness
Smith
me.
purchased a jet.
My brothers, I have passed the taxi union Nassau Street. I noticed that the roof is falling in. Are you still there with them? This is sad how Mr. Griffin messed up what so many have built up. Griffin, please forgive me. I didn't see your name, eh? You all leave Mr. Griffin alone. He is my corner brother.
Mrs. Monica, are you aware that the Tribune only published names of PLPs owing monies to BPL? Do you know that they're also sitting F&M MPs?
Well,
That
I don't know if that's
owes
totally
money?
true. Because Renwood Wells, his picture was published, and when I called someone to find out why, they say that's when Renwood was a PLP. Welcome to Freedom March. Hello?
Hello?
Sir,
Yeah, how you doing, sir?
right here, what's on your mind?
Man, Mr. Rodney, I had to call you, sir. I having the same problem with Cable Bahamas. I paying money for the same thing every Tuesday and Monday. No, bring it on, everything freeze. And the same thing, gentlemen tell you this. Afterward, then they end up bringing another movie on.
What part of the island do you live?
I'm in Mount Moriah.
Mount Moriah?
Constituency.
Mount Moriah. Who's your MP?
Huh?
Who is your MP?
Well, the man who can't stop the crime.
Goodness of my sea. Fax him!
You're going to throw the safe
Yes.
on the ground? you know?
Fax him! But I'm going to organize a march for y'all. I'm going to show you that I'm a better representative than Marvin.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're a good man.
Always
All right.
a pleasure.
All right. My spiritual advisor.
Mr. Monko,
Text.
please do not address Chrissy Love's situation unless you're going to be fair and unbiased. You should be talking about BPL matter and how we are taken advantage of in this
Tomorrow.
country.
Chrissy is broken news. Hi, Mr. Munker. In all seriousness, you really got a good sense of humor. I have to take time out to meet you. I watch you every day. Ginger. Ginger, you're my favorite cake. Okay? Go ahead.
Mr. Monka, I'm always looking forward to seeing you on TV.
My spiritual advisor, read that fast because Grand Bahama is calling.
But Mr. Monka, you need to find out what your papa told Chrissy a few days ago. Maybe that's why she didn't have.
Good afternoon,
to
Mr.
go to court.
Monka. You so hot up on Chrissy going to court until you offering that lousy low amount for her arrest. You should go and find her and keep that money for yourself. Goodness of mercy. Hurricane Maria, large swells and battering waves could impact southeast Bahamas and Turks and Caicos Islands. Take precaution. Okay? Spiritual advisor, read text, put the camera on him. I'm getting an emergency call.
Hello, Mr. Monka, and spiritual advisor. I'm one of the women them who tune in each week from Atlanta, Georgia. Continue to fight on behalf of the people. You have such a blessing, Mr. Monka. Godspeed.
Thank you. Mrs. Vivian Cox, I have a shout out for you. I met your husband. He's my cousin. But I have one problem. Your mother-in-law and your other relative name, I lost it. But I remember the wife. Vivian Cox. You, your mother-in-law, and your children, except that one at the Nassau Guardian. I've been advised all of y'all are the people there. Hello. Welcome to Freedom March.
Hello, Mr. Monka.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you find out about the persons at NIB who are on vacation?
Listen, I've been looking for Brensel and I was not able to find him. But take it from me, I've not forgotten. I'm going to find him.
Yes, Mr. Monka, we need to find out, because we can't allow these people to be spending any more of our money carelessly like they did for that hurricane insurance.
But you know what time is it, right?
Mr. Monka, it's them people's time.
Wow.
It ain't our people's time.
Oh, okay, I'm going to check in it, I promise, okay?
Please do. Really want you to find out for me.
I shall.
Thank you.
I promise. Grand Bahama, welcome to
Mr.
Freedom
Monka.
March.
Good afternoon, Mr. Manker.
Yes, ma'am.
I am one of the women there from
Praise
Freeport.
the Lord. Where do you live?
I'm also calling concerning Cable Bahamas, which is USA channel every Monday and Tuesday. They freeze that channel until after wrestling.
Where you
is
live?
over. And I'm an avid wrestler fan.
What island do you live on?
I live in Freeport, Grand Bahama.
Even Freeport is being affected?
Every Monday and Tuesday.
This sounds like a conspiracy.
I don't know. I think they're probably getting the signals from another source.
Right.
And
Yeah, that's what's happening.
it freezes up on Monday and Tuesday.
Well, we have to case them out.
Yeah, please
take
case
it-
them out, Mr. Monka.
Take good care, my love. We
You
can
have
look
a
into
nice
that.
day.
Hello. Welcome to Freedom March. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Monka, I'm calling about Cable Bahamas.
What's up, my see? Where do you live?
I live in Stapleton.
Who's your MP?
I think Marvin Dames.
I say fax him, but I'm still prepared to listen to your complaint. What is Cable doing to you? Hello?
Hello?
What is Cable doing to you? They're frozen it up too?
Yes, I watched wrestling last night, and at almost 10 o'clock, they froze it up.
My God. Have you complained to Iker? You ever heard about Iker?
Yes.
I say you should pick up the phone, call Iker. Are you willing to march against Cable Bahamas if I call him out?
Yes.
Seriously? Seriously? Can
Yes.
you? Okay, this is great. Stay tuned. I'm going to curse them out for you tomorrow, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Take good care. Cable Bahamas, if you do not stop it, I'm going to go in the barnyard and get a fork. And I'm going to fork y'all up. Stop it. Go ahead, my spiritual advisor.
Good day, Mr. Monka. I hear the Prime Minister on TV, and I never knew that he was a meteorologist. I thought he was going to talk about how the Bahamas is going to build. I am so sorry about it, F&M. Freeport is finished, Mr. Monica. The only ship we had is gone till December. What are they doing,
Wow.
Mr. Monica? I'm lost.
Wow.
Can you help me?
Hello, is this one of the women there?
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good, Mr. Monka. It's one of the women them, and I here with the children them.
This is powerful.
Yes, I'm here, Tyreek.
Tyreek?
Tyreek and Tyrese Knowles.
Wow, Tyreek and Tyrese Knowles.
From
Listen.
Carlton, Francis. They love your show every day, so we just
Wow.
want to let you know that you and the spiritual advisor are doing a good job.
I thank
Thank you
How
so
old
much,
are these
ma'am.
kids?
Pardon me?
How old are they?
They're 10 years old. They're twins. 10-year-old twins.
They're twins.
Yes, sir.
Listen, I love twins. My aunt has a set of twins, and my mom's first cousin had 3 sets of twins.
Mr. Monka.
Take good care and give my regard and love to the children them, okay?
All right, they're right to listening to you.
Kids, listen to your mom, eh? For the Bible teaches us that we should honor our father and mother so that our days may be long upon the land which the Lord
thy
God,
giveth thee.
Jehovah give you. And if
All
you
right,
do
Mr.
what
Monka,
I
the spiritual
say,
advisor.
All right, take care, ma'am.
take good care.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Spiritual advisor,
Okay.
read text.
Good afternoon, Mr. Monica. I'm one of the women from Mount Pleasant Village.
Goodness me.
Now, please ask your callers to ease up on the spiritual advisor. He's doing an awesome job and should be commended and appreciated for his service. So be encouraged, spiritual advisor.
This is true.
I am praying for you. I love you, honey.
They call you honey?
Yeah.
Listen, the spiritual
It's in
advisor
hun.
is a saved man.
I know some women when they send you a text, they say, "Hi, hun."
Okay.
That means honey, right? I
Rodney
assume.
Monka called David Burrows from cable live on TV. 424-9911. To everybody who has been getting poor TV reception on Monday and Tuesday, call David Burrows. His number is 424-9911. 424-9911. Cable Bahamas, you better come spend 10 minutes on this show and tell me why the people them are paying and you're not giving them proper service.
Mr. Monica, good afternoon. Do you have this intelligence?
Kevin Roll from Canada. Mississauga. Is that a person? Mississauga. Kevin Roll from Mississauga, Canada. Listen, I'm honored and I'm having fun with your name. Wow, that's powerful. I thank you for joining us.
Mr. Monica, do you have this intelligence? I'm hearing that the government is going to send 3 jets down to evacuate persons from Turks and Caicos Island. Are they part of the Bahamas, Mr. Monica?
Well, I have no problem if Dr. Minnis decides to evacuate the people of the Turks and Caicos, because my mother, her father, was born in the Turks and Caicos. And I don't want my people them to perish. So Dr. Minnis, send 3 jets.
Yes, do that.
And bring
Yes.
them to Nassau, because historically and biologically, the Turks and Caicos and the Bahamian people are one
And the same,
people.
yeah,
It was
absolutely.
only in 1875 that the British severed the Turks and Caicos. They had a dispute. I think there was rowing Nassau over salt production. And so they tied them up to Jamaica. All right? So that's it. Go ahead, my spiritual
Mr.
advisor.
Monica, we're ready to march. We're coming from Bryland. My F&M government ain't doing what they promised they're going to do.
Okay, we're going to
When-
march in October.
They say they want you to tell them when to come down.
Yes, I will tell you. We will march in October because at the last march on the 2nd of September, we move a resolution that we will march 1 month later. So to all the women them, all the people them, bring the children them. And we're going to show how you march peacefully and orderly. That's what we're going to do.
Mr.
Miami, Florida. Hello. Welcome to Freedom March. They're watching us. Go ahead.
Mr. Monica, they need to take the food card from those persons who are working and give it and leave the senior citizens alone. What are they talking about?
Well, I don't know. I saw where the F&M at Stephen Dillett has built what they call a cafeteria. I wondered how they will manage when it rains since they didn't close it in. And a Negro worker said that is where they're going to put food carts. So I don't know.
Mr. Monica, good afternoon. Do you remember this? Do you remember, Mr. Monica, who was on stage with Dr. Mills on May the 10th? Who other than Acting Commissioner Ferguson? It's payback time, so I have to agree with Brave and Papa and what they said.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Listen, Papa and Brave, they're PLPs, you know. Papa's PLP. And PLPs know how to cut things straight. Okay? I think we made a mistake when we didn't encourage Papa to return. Because in the nation, there is a Hubert that nobody knows. All right? But Papa, praise the Lord, he's still alive, he's still politically astute, and him and Philip Brave Davis agree on this, that the Commissioner of Police ought not to be treated in this horrible and disrespectful manner. Because Papa says that Greenslade should not live unless he gets everything that he justly deserves. Because Greenslade, in his capacity as Commissioner of Police and the Deputy Commissioner of Police, they are protected by the Constitution of the Bahamas. Where's the flag? And so,
Right there. Good
my
night,
spiritual
everyone.
advisor, this one is for Greenslade, and this one is for Greenslade. Let us hold up these flags as we say, we stand in solidarity with Hubert Ingram and Philip Brave Davis, who has proclaimed that menace is wrong, and who has proclaimed that Greenslade should not be treated bad.
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.